create an IP like that in India, it requires long-term investment. There is slow creation taking place across many years. It's an investment you don't know will pay back or not. That's the problem. There's a lack of risk appetite. Is that how you see it?
I think, first of all, thanks for having me on the show. The gaming industry is really, really booming, and I think it's only set out to grow faster with AI tools making game development and quality of gaming overall really, really big. I think the larger problem with the gaming industry has been the investment numbers you talked about. Most of that has been directed to real money gaming. So actually, real IP development has not got as much funding in India. And even the gamers who play real money gaming are very different profile. The gamers who are actually playing, let me call games for fun, games like PUBG and its new version, or Free Fire, or Baldur's Gate, or Minecraft, or Roadblocks. These are a very different gaming profile. And today, almost $800 million is spent by gamers on Google Store or Apple Store. And most of this revenue is going out of India. So I think the problem of the gaming industry, especially from a creative side, is it's actually undercapitalized. And there are only a few IPs under development. There is, us who's doing Fauji. Amish Tripathi recently announced a game called Age of Bharat, which is being developed. Sony PlayStation is funded a lot of projects. There is Indus. The Indus game, which is also launched, and there are just a few other games in the market. For us to get a successful IP, we need hundreds of games to be developed. Just like any entertainment sector, you need a portfolio. You need 100 games so that maybe 2, 3, or 5 will be successful. Right now, that number of original IP which are being developed are far too low. So we are expecting out of the 4 games, all 4 to become super hits. That's not possible. Also, from a technology perspective, we are not there. The games which have been made in China and other markets have been matured over a lot of years, and the technology and the gaming engines they are using are far superior, and we are still started making our gaming engines and so on. So I think we also have a slight technology disadvantage over game publishers and game studios globally who have been working on especially the multiplayer technology for a long time. So it's a combination of funding and technology. There is no dearth. I mean, there are millions of people playing these games and spending billions.
Which is what I want to touch upon actually. India is a great consumer of games, and Rajesh and I were talking about it just yesterday, that how from my 8-year-old niece to my 8-year-old grandmother, everybody is playing some game. It could be PUBG for one, and it could be Sudoku or Ludo or even Candy Crush for the other. We are a big market. What do you think, Rajesh, is happening that we are not being able to sort of capitalize into an economic structure?
In terms of, there are opportunities as well as challenges. From a challenges perspective, what happens is from an online gaming, a lot of game gets misinterpreted as betting and gambling. Betting and gambling is not online gaming that we would like to promote. If you look from a fantasy sports perspective, there are games like free-to-play, which Vishal had mentioned about. Then there are games which are skill-based games, which are like pay-to-play. So pay to play, if you see from a skill-based perspective, there's very limited simulation that is available in the game. And it promotes in terms of skill development. For example, if you take a game of cricket, a lot of it is dependent on skill and also a deep knowledge about the game, which may lead to a cognitive development of the people who are playing that particular game. So one, we have to clearly distinguish between the betting kind of games and gambling kind of games and segregate them from a skill-based kind of a game. And also, if you look at game, what is game? Game is an output of IT, information technology. And India as a nation has proved its prowess from an IT perspective. But that prowess has been channelized primarily from a system integration perspective and not from a product perspective. So can you repivot that kind of capability to focus on outcome like a game, which will also feed into the narrative of Viksit Bharat and also will help us fulfill the dream of $1 trillion of digital economy, which means the government has to intervene, and there are some opportunities for improvement. There's a little bit of regulatory lack of clarity in the gaming industry. So what is that the government can do towards this? And it's also an ecosystem play. If you look at if you look at different countries like Korea, Japan, and all that stuff, there's a lot of ecosystem play that comes into effect. That ecosystem comprises of startups, it comprises of government initiatives, it comprises of telcos. So there's an opportunity in India as well. And some of the governments have taken a good initiative. For example, if you look at the image policy of state government of Telangana, they would like to invest significant amount in AV, GC, and XR sector, which is audio, video, gaming company, and extended reality. So those kind of systemic changes, which are well orchestrated by public policy partnership, will help us differentiate ourselves on the global scale.
Okay, so then to understand exactly this, let's go over to Meghna to understand more. Meghna, I just want to understand from you how much, not of what we just heard from Rajesh, but how much in general when it comes to criticism around a lack of policy, a lack of differentiation in the policy when it comes to the kind of games we're talking about. How much of that do you think really is a lack of policy in a space like this? What are the holes? If you were to give us an overview of the holes that need to be filled genuinely by the government and by policy, what would you say they are?
Yeah, so there is an overarching tendency to kind of paint the gaming sector with a broad brushstroke, and treat it as a kind of homogeneous landscape, and there's a considerable amount of heterogeneity. So games we found have been very beneficial for things like education and healthcare because they increase motivation and engagement to participate in different programs. Then another important consideration here is that it's not only seen as a form of digital entertainment for users, but they also see it as a kind of opportunity for skill building. So whether it be motor skills or under greater understanding of statistical methods and things like that, users have indicated that they also see it as a form of skill building. But unfortunately, it's seen as one broad thing of like being a problem. It's kind of treated as a public health problem, and they keep typically decision makers talk about it in the context of addiction. But again, when we kind of dive deeper into it, we see that let's say, okay, fine, in the context of real money gaming, because there is a financial aspect there is concern and it is legitimate. But there are frameworks that exist that haven't been notified yet, that have been brought out but not notified yet, that could kind of address consumers' concerns. So consumers, when we ask them, what are your concerns? They said things like KYC, online safety, and grievance redressal mechanism. The rules, the IT rules, the 2023 amendment to them brought in all those elements.
But not been enforced.
It brought in all those elements. So that's something that could immediately kind of allay concerns and assuage concerns, of the consumers and really kind of address them. The other thing is that I remember Sonal spoke about bans. So the problem is that often, because it is a complex it is a complex task to regulate gaming, because it is essentially media engagement, and there's so many different types of users, and again so many different types of games, that there's this kind of tendency to ban, and we've seen that in this country as well. But a ban essentially is an abdication of responsibility, in my view, because essentially what you're saying is that I don't know what to do about it, so I'm just going to wish it away. But you can't wish it away, because we're living in a situation, or we're living in a time when digital entertainment, these things are everywhere, and if you ban them, users are sophisticated enough to bypass those bans. So it is more about really kind of focusing on what the evidence says. So one useful point in that context is that screen limits are not particularly useful. So the American Academy of Pediatrics essentially did away with their screen limit prescription and all the way back in 2016 because they showed that they didn't really show any demonstrable benefit towards, helping children or being beneficial for children. And in this day and age, in India, we're trying to impose screen limits for adults as well. So it is about trying to, what they kind of try to emphasize is creating a positive relationship with media because it's around everywhere, and I think that applies not only for children but also for adults and young adults as well. And also,
Megha, you're absolutely right about bans not working because you can't wish away technology. It's going to exist. And the minute you take away the phones, even forcefully from kids, they will figure out a way to sort of get their hands back on it, and perhaps not in a very regulated way. So that's clearly, and that applies to, seniors, that applies to who are again seen as victims. We've just been doing, story after story of online frauds and scams that happen. We all know that, the reality, that's the reality that we live in. But Rajesh, can I come to you very quickly on this point?
Sure.
If policy makers were looking at this right now, the intent is very clear, right? We just had the WAVE summit, wherein the Prime Minister also said that he wants to see this investing. We've seen him sit down and have a chai pe charcha, so to say, with all the gamers in the country. So there is a clear push to sort of ensure that the system grows. But if you were being heard by the PMO's office right now on what exactly are the lacks there and what can be done to sort of catapult it and make it more beneficial for us here in India, what would you say?
In terms of the industry has already established a code of practice as far as this real money gaming is concerned. And most of the narrative over there is dovetailing into responsible gaming. So there's already a code of practice. So how do you take that particular code of practice and ensure that it becomes all pervasive and implemented in the true spirit, number one. Number two, as I said, some of the state governments have made progressive policies from an image policy perspective and promoting key cities in their respective states as the global heads of gaming. So can we dovetail those initiatives at a national level, consolidate that? And a lot of stuff also happens from an advocacy and evangelization perspective, right? For example, I come from several years of experience in the IT industry, and today we become a IT strong powerhouse because of advocacy and evangelization that began as early as 1980s with organizations like NASCOM and the others. So how do we leverage the power of those industry bodies and start about evangelizing and socializing about our capabilities in this particular space, and also try to identify the bottlenecks, like some of them have been alluded to by Vishal. So how do you get into those bottlenecks and have a public-private partnership to address them? So they are multifold. At least if we focus on 2 or 3 such initiatives, it will get a life of its own.
Vishal, can we then take this to you and ask you, return to what we were talking about a little earlier, which is that question of, when will India see a really exciting IP that has the world talking about it? Question that we want to ask you, a really basic one. Firstly, how much does it cost to develop? So I've heard a number of figures thrown out. I've heard something as high as 100 crores, 150, even 200 crores to develop an IP. Is that wildly overstated as a number? And does the talent exist? Or is it because I sometimes hear that the talent exists, but the pipeline to take that talent into jobs, that's where the problem is in India. Where do you see it? What will it take to create those lived-in worlds in video games for India?
No, so clearly, a decent game can cost you anything from, I would say, 50 to about 200 crores, depending on the genre of game, the quality, and so on. And while there is enough tech talent to do it, I think the challenge really is it's about the depth of experience in running these games. People are, especially foreign studios, are running these games for a lot of years, and they have a lot of experience in what we call live ops of these games, which is where they generate the recurring revenue. So it is a complex process of game design, animation, coding, and then implementing this across a multiplayer framework, because here, remember, there are hundreds of people playing simultaneously on the server. So it's something which is, that's exactly what the problem is, right? These things require investment, time. And because a game is a creative work, some games work and some games don't work. So even after investing, but what happens is your team is now a lot more experienced in this technology. So they may do a next version of the game, or they will do an update. So that is what happens, right? So it takes a few generations for you to get a good game. And a lot of times, for example, Rovio's Angry Bird was their like 40th or 50th game, and they had like, that many flops before they were able to get Angry Bird. So that is, it's an evolution process. But I just want to also add one small point here around real money gaming, which was being discussed. I think the government is quite clear. If you are wagering on any game, be it skill, non-skill, that is considered 28% GST, which is equal to gambling or whatever else the government considers in its own books. Worldwide, most of the countries have put permanent bans on these games. China has banned this, Middle East has banned this, Singapore has banned this. So it is not like, we are operating in a vacuum. There are enough and more best practices already there in the world. It's just that I don't know why we are still debating whether these are good or bad. I mean, it's gambling, and people above a particular age, if they consent to it and there is proper KYC, they can do it. I think the problem right now is that the KYC is not there at the time of entry. There should be KYC before you play the games, not at the time of withdrawing your money or wagering. So I think these are some problems which I'm sure governments are looking at. But let me be very clear that we are not representing that part of the business. Our games are played for fun. They have nothing to do with, real money of any kind. These are pure entertainment, and that is the real gaming business across the world. You must have just seen that Saudi has invested billions in gaming companies. They acquired Scopely, the Saudi government through PIF have acquired Scopely for almost $8 billion. They recently acquired the makers of Pokemon Go for 3.4 billion, and Saudi is investing billions in the gaming industry, which also has the entire esports industry also. So it is not just gaming. Along with gaming comes esports. Along with esports comes the entire ecosystem which supports gaming.
And along with that ecosystem comes soft power. We are in this era where K-pop is so big, where Chinese, we were just talking about Labubu the other day. That is so big. So India has real potential to build that soft power around the world as well. So we are. I think the good way to conclude this is that we are at this point where everybody is working towards something. And from the policy angle, what Meghna pointed out, from a maker's perspective, from what Vishal is saying, to even what Rajesh is saying on the overall perspective of the industry, I think we are at that point where something big can happen if only all the wings can work together, I guess, and sort of move in that direction. We'll thank all our guests for joining us this morning and sharing all their insights. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, we're going to head into a quick break, and we are shifting focus now from one kind of
offline
game,
games,
to a different kind of game. We're taking a look at chess. We were tracking all the developments very closely in Norway, and now we have with us Praggnanandhaa. He is opening up, or has opened up in this interview, about his chess journey. He's talked about Chennai, his family, what keeps him grounded. This was an exclusive conversation that we'll play out for you on the other side of the break.
This is New.
Dangerously cool. Go, stop, go. Playing this game like a tic-tac-toe. Sharp as a razor, the flavor bowl. Flip it out, they wanna fold. Keeping them coming.
Motorola Razr 60. Dangerously cool.
Hello, Moto.
And more breaking news coming in. CNN News 18 has accessed a photo of all the 4 accused in the Raja Raguanchi murder case. This is Sans Sonam, the wife of Raja Raguvanchi. Those are the visuals on your screen where you can see that 4 of the 5 accused can be seen in that still when it comes to the Raja Raguvanchi murder case. CNN News 18 has accessed the first stills of the accused, of 4 of the accused out of the 5, including Sonam. Sonam was also sent to 8 days police custody as well. And these are the other 4 accused, including the alleged lover of Sonam Raguvanchi, Raja, along with 3 other who we are learning are contracted killers, people who were contracted to commit the murder of Raja Raguvanchi is what we are learning. Those are the visuals on your screen when it comes to the status of these 5 accused now. These 4 are out of the 5 accused in this entire case where Sonam Raguvanchi has also been sent to 8 days police custody. But those are the 4 accused that those include not just Raj, who is the alleged lover of Sonam Raguvanchi, but also the 3 alleged contract killers. To get more details, I'm joined by my colleague Anshul Singh on the broadcast. Anshul, give us the details.
So yes, this is the first photograph that has come to the fore after the arrest of all the accused in this entire matter. And if you look at this photograph, except of Sonam, there are all the 4 accused that have been captured in a photograph for the first time.
And more breaking news coming in. CNN News 18 has accessed a photo of all the 4 accused in the Raja Raguvanchi murder case. This is Sans Sonam, the wife of Raja Raguvanchi. Those are the visuals on your screen where you can see that 4 of the 5 accused can be seen in that still when it comes to the Raja Raguvanchi murder case. CNN News 18 has accessed the first stills of the accused, of 4 of the accused out of the 5, including Sonam. Sonam was also sent to 8 days police custody as well. And these are the other 4 accused, including the alleged lover of Sonam Raguvanchi, Raja, along with 3 other who we are learning are contracted killers, people who were contracted to commit the murder of Raja Raguvanchi is what we are learning. Those are the visuals on your screen when it comes to the status of these 5 accused now. These 4 are out of the 5 accused in this entire case where Sonam Raguvanchi has also been sent to 8 days police custody. But those are the 4 accused that those include not just Raj, who is the alleged lover of Sonam Raguvanchi, but also the 3 alleged contract killers. To get more details, I'm joined by my colleague Anshul Singh on the broadcast. Anshul, give us the details.
So yes, this is the first photograph that has come to the fore after the arrest of all the accused in this entire matter. And if you look at this photograph, except of Sonam, there are all the 4 accused that have been captured in a photograph for the first time. And definitely the manner in which this entire incident happened, and obviously Sonam, who was initially claiming that she was kidnapped and then she was able to flee from the grasp of the kidnappers, and eventually she surrendered herself in Ghazipur. Definitely, the manner in which there has been a lot of evidences that has been gathered by the Shillong police, and that actually goes ahead and says that how Sonam was the actual master planner of this entire matter. So definitely, there are many layers that needs to be investigated. But yes, the manner in which this entire incident has happened, this definitely sent shockwaves across the country as to how a wife who was married just for 4 to 5 days actually planned this entire incident for at least 10 to 15 days before her marriage itself. And yes, finally, after the arrest of all the accused in this matter, definitely this is a shot in the arm for the Shillong police, who was initially been accused of not handling this entire situation. But the manner in which they have gone ahead and arrested all the accused in this entire matter, definitely this is a massive shot in the arm for the Shillong police, and they have been able to establish all the evidences, all the proofs that actually goes ahead and says that how not only Sonam but all the other 3 accused, the mastermind Raj Kushwaha, all of them were actually involved in this entire incident, and they had planned this entire murder days before the marriage. This is something that is absolutely shocking. But yes, since the Shillong police has gotten the custody of all the accused for the next 8 days, over the next 8 days, the Shillong police will try to establish more and more evidences that actually establish the storyline that has been told by Sonam and all the other 4 accused But yes, this is a massive success, and over the next 2 days, we can expect some more fast-track action that will be taken by the Sri Lankan police.
Right, and when it comes to the entire, the different antecedents as well as the different aspects of this case, Anshul. Now, we've been talking about Raj as well as Sonal Raguanchi. Sonam Raguanchi, excuse me. What more can you tell us about these three other accused, those alleged contract killers who are involved in this case? We can see their visuals for the first time along with Raj. Raj is the one who supposedly hired them.
Welcome back here with the Breakfast Club. Before going on break, we looked at the world of online gaming. Let's switch to the OG game of Rananiti, as they say, the world of chess. And what a spectacular year it has been for India and Indians across the globe who have actually, taken a lead in terms of chess. Now, India's young chess sensation, his name is Praggnanandhaa, if you hadn't heard of it already, reflects on his rise in the chess world and the challenges he faced on the path to the candidates tournament, and responds to the bold comments made by Magnus Carlsen as well in the interview today.
It is always so wonderful that we have so many young chess players to look out for. In this interview, Praggnanandhaa shares how his hometown Chennai, the unwavering support of his family, all of them continue to drive his passion and performance in global chess. Take a look.
You've just played the Stephen Avagyan Memorial. Tell us that experience in Armenia. It was a close call with you and Arvind as well, level on points, required a tiebreaker to win. So what was that experience like for you?
Yeah, it was a good tournament for me. I scored +4, and +4 in this field is quite good. And at the end I finished second because of tiebreak, but I don't really care too much about first or second at the end. For me, I played well, and I also tied for first. So I think it was a good result overall for me. And I'm also happy that Arangana is doing really well. And to see that we have 4 Indians in the top 10 is something that is exciting, and I'm sure all the Indian fans are also excited.
You did talk about that, results you really don't care about, but one result you probably would care about would have been that Tata Steel Chess Tournament in Feb. It's kind of Wimbledon of the chess, only the second Indian after Anand to win that as well. What was that feeling like, to have won that title, and especially getting the better of, somebody like your compatriot Gukesh there in the final? So what was that feeling like, and how did that competition go for you?
No, I don't mean that I don't care about results. Of course, I want to win every tournament I play. And I think I have the ability to do that. So I give my best in every game, but if you score +4 and there is one more person scoring +4, I don't think you should really worry about finishing first or second. You just did your best, and that's what I care most about. And coming back to why, it really feels like it's been a long time since I played Why. I played a lot of tournaments after that, so it was quite important for me, because starting the year with such a win gives you the confidence, and I think that was required for me after a rough year last year.
And while you were in Armenia, there was this Norway chess which was underway, and Magnus Carlsen made quite a statement, that there's no one currently who he can pick as his successor, someone who can take his place as a number one. Do you agree to that? And, he even went down to the extent of saying that, older guys are slightly better, the kids, everyone who's around the circuit right now have their flaws. What do you make of that statement from Carlsen? Your take on that?
I think we still have a lot to learn from. The sort of older guys have more experience for sure. But I think we are improving in a rapid pace, and we are seeing results that young guys are also doing well. Like Gukesh is the world champion; he won the candidates, and this year I won Wike and Romania as well. So, maybe we are not completely at their level, but we are very, very close. And you never know, like these things, you can never assess these levels. I think we are equally stronger players like them. But for sure, Magnus is one level above than anyone else. I don't think that's a question anyone argues about. So at what he has achieved, I think it's just incredible. I think you can't really compare anyone with him. He's in his own league, so I wouldn't say I agree with everything what he said, but some of his statements I agree.
Right. And you did talk about a rough 2024. 2025 has been quite of a success for you, at least so far as of now, leading the FID circuit as well. What have you done? Have you done something different, or what has been that has changed for you this year as compared to the last year?
I think trying to be more ambitious and trying to fight for that half a point in every game, something that I'm doing now, and I think I'm scoring more wins this year compared to last year. That's one of the reasons. And I was making too many draws last year. That's something that was concerning, and as you can see, I'm fighting much more than I used to.
And you did. And can you tell us a bit about the tournaments that you are now going to plan to take onto the near future? Because of course, I mean, there's always this talk about, at the end of it, qualifying for the candidates is always that goal. But in that respect, what are the tournaments now you'll be playing in the future? Something that you have your eyes on? Okay, this is where I really need to, put in my best and give the results.
Yeah, this year is all about qualifying to the candidates tournament for next year, and FIDE circuit is one of the ways. So I'm trying to play a lot of classical events. I'll play in US Cup next, which is in Tashkent. It will start in about a week, so not much time. And then I'll play in Grand Chess Tour event, Rapid and Blitz in Croatia, which will be another strong event where Magnus, Gukesh, and almost all the top guys are playing. So that is coming up, and then freestyle in Las Vegas. So those three are my tournaments. But everything will happen in within 1 month. So some tight schedule this year.
All right, it's time now to take you through stories coming in from India and across the globe. Let's begin with the good news coming in for India's women ice hockey team as they made history by winning its first ever bronze medal at the 2025 IIHF Women's Asia Cup held on the 31st of June. Between May 31st and June 6th in UAE. The 20-member squad, including 19 players from Ladakh and one from Himachal Pradesh, selected from 45 trial participants across the country, nearly a decade after debuting internationally in 2016. India's competed against 5 nations, winning 3 of the 5 matches and finishing third with 13 goals scored and 16 conceded.
And Rafael Nadal's racket from his 2017 French Open victory was auctioned for a whopping $1,157,000 at a prestige memorabilia auction. Nadal got the better of Wawrinka at the final of the 2017 edition of the French Open. This was at Roland Garros with the Babolat racket that fetched a high price at the auction, surpassing the previous record fee for a tennis racket also held by Nadal.
Paris Olympics medalist Manu Bhaker and seasoned shooter Chain Singh both reached the finals of their respective events but missed out on podium finishes, resulting in a medal-less day for India at the ISSF World Cup. Double Olympic bronze medalist Bhaker secured 6th place in the 25 meters pistol event after qualifying for the 8th shooter final in 5th position with a combined precision and rapid-fire score of 588.
Okay, and now we shift to South Africa, where torrential rains and landslides in the Eastern Cape have killed at least 49 people, including 4 children, when a school minibus was swept away. The storm hit on Monday. It left an unknown number missing in this province, and the death toll is unfortunately expected to rise. The National Weather Service warned that severe weather in the winter will persist through midweek.
Scientists have discovered a new species of dinosaur that they say rewrites the evolutionary history of Tyrannosaurus. With a 86 million year old skeleton they studied belonging to a species that is now closest known as the ancestor of all the Tyrannosaurus, and researchers named the species Kanakulu, pronounced as Khankulu as they go on to sort of saying it, meaning that the dragon prince of Mongolia. It is a window into how these species of dinosaurs evolved into becoming powerful predators and terrorized North America and Asia until the end of the reign of dinosaurs.
And then we take you very quickly to the world of music and pop, as the multi-Grammy Award-winning singer Enrique Iglesias is all set to ignite the stage in India once again. And for those who are his fans, this is after a 13-year hiatus. You can catch him live in concert on October 30th in Mumbai for a night of electrifying music, unforgettable energy, and just pure pop charisma.
All right, now let's shift our focus to a series that a lot of people have been waiting for, Rana Naidu Season 1. Well, that was a total knockout, and Season 2 has lots of chaos, emotions and action dialed up to 11.
Expect emotional blowouts, loyalty tests, and some intense showdowns from Season 2. It will, of course, be coming on Netflix. We sat down with the cast. They spilled all the tea, listening to some of Rana Dagupati's thoughts. Take a look. This is Tatas.
You know, Venki sir, of course, you know, he has an amazing sense of humor. And I want to ask you, does he actually have a wicked sense of humor?
He has a sense of humor. Wicked, not so much. He actually doesn't have a evil bone, really.
Yeah.
That's how he's.
He's a saint too.
In fact,
That's true.
He's too much of a saint like that.
Yeah. So what we saw on screen was like an alter ego maybe of his.
Yeah, I think.
Something that he cannot really...
I guess he's been acting for so long and he's like, okay. And it was the pandemic and he saw me doing some crazy things. He's like, okay, what the hell are you doing? And then he came into this world right with us.
Fabulous, fabulous. But while you were working with him, did you sort of discover a new dynamic to your equation?
We definitely got much closer because we spent a lot more time together. We've never been on a set together like acting. Like I was always doing some behind the scenes work when he was on set. And yeah, no, I think one is we've become like that uncle relation is gone. It's become like friends. It's like, here you go in some manner. It's like, oh man, okay, when you get back to set and then we travel sometimes together, we try to, we have so many meals together. So I think that bond was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you called him a saint. So did you actually see that switch on, switch off every time the camera would turn on?
So there are a couple of things. He is a man who likes to cut off himself and go to the mountains and spend a month or two. His relationship to money is very different from the rest of us. But there's a naughty side to him. And he will let it come out every now and then. And that side is what is amplified 1,000,000 times over by Karan when we watch Rana Naidu. So yeah.
Right. Can you add something? What was like your first conversation with him like?
Look, I had no idea what he was like, okay, when he came on board. So for me, like when it was on Zoom, that first call, and he was...
Yeah, with the beard. Yeah, I remember that
I had a big beard and he had a beanie on. I was like, okay, this meeting is over because you are already looking the part.
Yeah,
and, you know, and I know you're a great actor, so there's not much to do. And of course, one had a sense that he was the nicest man there is to work with. So we already knew that. And the only thing was, and you know, Rana's also been brought up and is part of a family that really loves each other. He's the ultimate Karan Johar family. So, Dagupatis. Okay, none of the. Yeah, actually, not even. It's the.
ये सूरज बरजात्या.
Rajshri
films.
Yeah, and so the only challenge was to, of course, get them to not like each other on screen and build some of that fireworks. I was really hoping it wouldn't slip into, but they're such seasoned, brilliant actors that
right.
it just took no effort at all. It wasn't any effort for me to do anything. I just had to watch the show while directing it.
Right, but we'll have to address the elephant in the room. When that first season released, of course, people like me, we really loved watching it. But there was so much conversation about the violence quotient in it, the intimacy factor, nudity, in the show. At that time, what did you really make of it?
Well, I think that making anything of it is not the way to put it. It was all in service of the story and the characters, to be honest with you. The definition of gratuitous is something that's over the top for a reaction, and that's not what we were doing. While it might have been extreme for some viewers, it really was all in the context of the story, in the context of the storylines.
All right, moving on from the world of entertainment to that of automobiles. And if you are an auto enthusiast or just curious about the latest electric rides on the block, here's something that will charge you up and your interest. The brand new Tata Harrier EV, an all-electric SUV that's turning heads with its bold design and future-ready tech.
From the sleek exterior lines, a feature-packed cabin, this EV is all about blending power with premium. Here's a detailed walk around on what makes the Tata Harrier stand out in the EV space, and of course the overdrive verdict. Should you go for it or not? Take a look.
Come on, welcome. This is the new Tata Harrier EV. We saw it for the first time at the Bharat Mobility Expo 2025. That time, they didn't really reveal a lot of technical specifications. Now we have. In fact, we sat through a 2-hour-long presentation to understand everything about the vehicle. Now, if I were to tell you everything about it that happened in that 2-hour-long presentation, you would have to call this a sleepover instead of a walk around. So I'm going to try and make it as concise as possible. So hang around till the end because there's a lot to talk about it. Honestly, that's a big deal because this is not a all EV. It's based from one existing Harrier. Still, they've done so much with it. Come, let's take a look. I don't know how much of it the camera is capturing, but you can see blue, you can see shades of purple in it as well. Reminds me of the Nissan GT-R dark purple. But that's just the GDM fanboy in me talking. The Indian fanboy in me is happy that this car is finally here. And it's available in 5 different color options, including the stealth black that we saw at the Bharat Mobility Expo. But the main details are obviously to the front end. The changes are to the front end. You see a completely different grille compared to the Harrier IS that we know of so far. Even the lower part is completely different. And then you also see this box because there is level 2 ADAS, which Tata claims is Indianized. And they're going to tell us a lot more about it as time passes. So we'll just hang around on that bit. But in terms of the design, I simply like it. I think it looks stunning. It immediately sets itself apart from the standard Harrier that we have known so far. You also get a completely flat underbody, and what you see here are 18-inch wheels. Of course, these look like aerodynamic discs because that is exactly their function. They aim to reduce the aerodynamic drag while on the road. As for the suspension, you also get the frequency selective damping on this one. So that's some top tier suspension for this particular category of car. And that should work really well. We have seen that in some of the other vehicles in this particular price bracket as well. Now you also see the .EV badging on the door. And then there are plethora of cameras to give you 540 degrees of surround view. At the end, you see that the quad wheel drive. That's Tata speak for electric all-wheel drive system because this vehicle uses a permanent magnet synchronous motor at the rear and an induction motor at the front. So 2 electric motors giving you electric all-wheel drive capabilities. Now let's count the number of cameras. There is one each, of course, in the wing mirrors, but in the front end, if you see, you get one here right beneath the Tata logo. That's the standard placement. Then you will see one on the windscreen right there and then one above that.
So that's 3 cameras in the front. Why? Well, one is going to help you with all the reversing functions. The one in between, on the inside view rear view mirror, is essentially a dash cam. So it's going to keep recording footage of whatever is in front of you. And in case of a collision, it's going to auto save that as well. So you can use it for your insurance claims, or, you know, if you need to use it with an FIR or something. So we'll leave it to that. And the third one is for the ADAS. So it's going to use a combination of radars and the camera-based system for a level 2 ADAS functionality, and it's Indianized is what Tata says. Then similarly at the rear, we'll get one reversing camera right here beneath the Tata logo again, and you'll also see one in the shark fin antenna. What is that for? That's not for ADAS. That is for the E-mirror or the EIRVM. So the inside rear view mirror is not a traditional mirror. It's drawing feed from this so that the driver can get a full view, a wide view of what is behind the car. At the same time, if you are chauffeur driven, you can enjoy your privacy in the back seat. The driver is not going to get any view of what's happening in the back. The battery pack goes in the floor, and you're going to get 2 options. So the lower-end variants are going to come with a 65 kilowatt hour battery pack. Higher-end variants will come with a 75 kilowatt. Both of these are made in India. They are also tested for all the safety aspects that Tata is famous for, which means that battery pack also tested for that 5-star safety rating that Tata is running with. And Harrier is definitely going to achieve that even with its electric variant. In terms of the charging, both these battery packs are compatible with 120 kilowatt in fast charging actions. And by 2027, Tata is going to set up 500 of these 120 kilowatt fast chargers. And then the public chargers, which means anyone can use it. Tata customers will get a discount, 25% discount to begin with, and I'm sure as promotions go, some of them will also be free for some Tata customers. And not just that, the battery packs come with an unlimited kilometer lifetime warranty. No 8-year, no 10-year limit, lifetime warranty. Whether that extends to the second or the third owner, that remains to be seen. We'll check with Tata on that. But in terms of the range, Tata is claiming over 625 kilometers of range for the 75 kilowatt hour battery pack. At the same time, they have this C75 concept, right? It's not the IDC, the Indian driving cycle. It's something that they've derived from all the driving data that they have got from their own customers. So they say that looking at the driving patterns of 75% of their customers, this car will be able to give you easily between 450 to 505 kilometers of real-world driving range with that 75 kilowatt hour battery pack. How does that translate to in the real world is something that we will find with the road test, but at least as of now, on paper, these numbers are quite promising. There's a tiny little switch in here which operates the powered tailgate. You also see the Harrier EV badging right there, and once you open the boot, it reveals a 502-litre boot space.
This
Hello, Moto.
Motorola Edge 60 Pro, the edge of excellence.
And more breaking news coming in. CNN News 18 has access to a photo of all the 4 accused in the Raja Raguanchi murder case. This is Sans Sonam, the wife of Raja Raguanchi. Those are the visuals on your screen where you can see that 4 of the 5 accused can be seen in that still when it comes to the Raja Raguanchi murder case. CNN News 18 has accessed the first stills of the accused, of 4 of the accused out of the 5, including Sonam. Sonam was also sent to 8 days police custody as well. And these are the other 4 accused, including the alleged lover of Sonam Raguanchi, Raja, along with 3 other who we are learning are contracted killers, people who were contracted to commit the murder of Raja Raguanchi is what we are learning. Those are the visuals on your screen when it comes to the status of these 5 accused. Now, these 4 are out of the 5 accused in this entire case where Sonam Raguanchi has also been sent to 8 days police custody. But those are the 4 accused. That those include not just Raj, who is the alleged lover of Sonam Raguanchi, but also the 3 alleged contract killers. To get more details, I'm joined by my colleague Anshul Singh on the broadcast. Anshul, give us the details.
So yes, this is the first photograph that has come to the fore after the arrest of all the accused in this entire matter. And if you look at this photograph, except of Sonam, there are all the four accused that have been captured in a photograph for the first time. And definitely the manner in which this entire incident has happened, and obviously Sonam, who was initially claiming that she was kidnapped and then.
And more breaking news coming in. CNN News 18 has access to photo of all the four accused in the Raja Raguanchi murder case. This is Sans Sonam, the wife of Raja Raguanchi. Those are the visuals on your screen, where you can see that 4 of the 5 accused can be seen in that still when it comes to the Raja Raguanchi murder case. CNN News 18 has accessed the first stills of the accused, of 4 of the accused out of the 5, including Sonam. Sonam was also sent to 8 days police custody as well. And these are the other 4 accused, including the alleged lover of Sonam Raguanchi, Raja, along with 3 other who we are learning are contracted killers, people who were contracted to commit the murder of Raja Raguanchi, is what we are learning. Those are the visuals on your screen when it comes to the status of these 5 accused. Now, these 4 are out of the 5 accused in this entire case, where Sonam Raguanchi has also been sent to 8 days police custody. But those are the 4 accused.
All right, next we bring you a special section on financial markets powered by Money Control Pro, Money Control's premium destination for investing and business insights. Let's take a look first at markets, where GIFT Nifty is signaling a lower or flat opening for Indian equity markets. Investor sentiment in Asian markets was mixed. This is on Trump's declaration of US-China reaching a possible trade deal. US equity markets closed lower due to Middle East tensions and a lack of clarity on US-China tariff deals as we speak. Gold and oil prices gained as tensions in the Middle East rose and uncertainty continues to prevail in global markets.
Let's look at a sector in focus this morning then. Globally, the chemicals business is witnessing mixed fortunes. Recovery in the offtake, it seems, in certain key agrochemical intermediaries. However, pricing pressure from Chinese competitors continues to pose concerns for Indian companies. You can log into Money Control Pro to find out more about India's chemical sector and various other actionable insights on the markets. It's a premier destination for all the investing views and financial insights you will ever need, brought to you by Money Control.
And with that, we are drawing our Thursday show to a close. As usual, if you have any ideas, stories you want us to cover, hit us up, The Breakfast Club, at CNN News 18's Twitter. Tell us what it is that you want to see us do, what you want to see us cover. For now, though, we'll see you tomorrow.
We'll see you tomorrow, 8 a.m. for a Friday roundup of things, all you need to do, also to wind down to that weekend. See you then. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Brought to you by. This is News 18.
Dangerously cool. Go, stop, go. Playing this game like a tic-tac-toe. Sharp as a razor, the flavor bowl. Flip it out, they wanna fold. Keeping them coming.
Motorola Razr 60. Dangerously cool.
Hello, Moto.
And more breaking news coming in. CNN News 18 has access to photo of all the 4 accused in the Raja Raguanchi murder case. This is Sans Sonam, the wife of Raja Raguanchi. Those are the visuals on your screen, where you can see that 4 of the 5 accused can be seen in that still when it comes to the Raja Raguanchi murder case. CNN News 18 has accessed the first stills of the accused, of 4 of the accused out of the 5, including Sonam. Sonam was also sent to 8 days police custody as well. And these are the other 4 accused, including the alleged lover of Sonam Raguanchi, Raja, along with 3 other who who we are learning are contracted killers, people who were contracted to commit the murder of Raja Raguanchi is what we are learning. Those are the visuals on your screen when it comes to the status of these 5 accused. Now, these 4 are out of the 5 accused in this entire case, where Sonal Raghuvanshi has also been sent to 8 days police custody. But those are the 4 accused. That those include not just Raj, who is the alleged lover of Sonal Raghuvanshi, but also the 3 alleged contract killers. To get more details, I'm joined by my colleague Anshul Singh on the broadcast. Anshul, give us the details.
So yes, this is the first photograph that has come to the fore after the arrest of all the accused in this entire matter. And if you look at this photograph, except of Sonal, there are all the 4 accused that have been captured in a photograph for the first time.
And more breaking news coming in. CNN News 18 has access to photo of all the 4 accused in the Raja Raghuvanshi murder case. This is Sans Sonal, the wife of Raja Raghuvanshi. Those are the visuals on your screen, where you can see that 4 of the 5 accused can be seen in that still when it comes to the Raja Raghuvanshi murder case. CNN News 18 has accessed the first stills of the accused, of 4 of the accused out of the 5, including Sonal. Sonal was also sent to 8 days police custody as well. And these are the other 4 accused, including the alleged lover of Sonal Raghuvanshi, Raja, along with 3 other who we are learning are contracted killers, people who were contracted to commit the murder of Raja Raghuvanshi is what we are learning. Those are the visuals on your screen when it comes to the status of these 5 accused. Now, these 4 are out of the 5 accused in this entire case, where Sonal Raghuvanshi has also been sent to 8 days police custody. But those are the 4 accused. That those include not just Raj, who is the alleged lover of Sonal Raghuvanshi, but also the 3 alleged contract killers. To get more details, I'm joined by my colleague Anshul Singh on the broadcast. Anshul, give us the details.
So yes, this is the first photograph that has come to the fore after the arrest of all the accused in this entire matter. And if you look at this photograph, except of Sonal, there are all the 4 accused that have been captured in a photograph for the first time. And definitely the manner in which this entire incident happened, and obviously Sonal, who was initially claiming that she was kidnapped and then she was able to flee from the grasp of the kidnappers, and eventually she surrendered herself in Ghazipur. Definitely, the manner in which there has been a lot of evidences that has been gathered by the Shillong police, and that actually goes ahead and says that how Sonal was the actual master planner of this entire matter. So definitely, there are many layers that needs to be investigated. But yes, the manner in which this entire incident has happened, this definitely sent shockwaves across the country as to how a wife who was married just for 4 to 5 days actually planned this entire incident for at least 10 to 15 days before her marriage itself. And yes, finally, after the arrest of all the accused in this matter, definitely this is a shot in the arm for the Shillong.
Good morning and a warm welcome. You're watching CNN News 18 with me, Griha Atul. Let's begin with the Raja Raghuvanshi murder case, as chilling details have emerged as the probe continues in this Meghalaya murder. Shillong Police DIG David N.R. Mark has confirmed that Sonal actively helped all 3 contract killers in disposing of Raja's body. She was present at the murder spot and also assisted in dumping his body into a ditch. The DIG also revealed that Sonal had conducted multiple internet searches about the murder location and possible dump spots before the crime. The SIT confronted Sonal with evidence during the interrogation, and she also confessed. Her statement will now be recorded in front of a magistrate and her confession will be officially taped. The police say that this is just the beginning and they are not ruling out more arrests in the coming few days. Remember, all of this comes after Sonam's family declared that they have cut off ties with Sonal and vowed to back Raja Raghuvanshi's family during the legal proceedings.
अब तक कितने मोबाइल फ़ोन रिकवर होना बाकी है जो सोनम और राजा रघुवंशी के पास थे?
अभी तक हम लोग को फैमिली मेंबर्स ने बताया है कि वो लोग के पास 4 फ़ोन थे, वहाँ से हम लोग सिर्फ एक ही फ़ोन मिला है, मतलब अभी हम लोग को 3 फ़ोन रिकवर करना बाकी है।
सर, इन 3 फ़ोन की लास्ट लोकेशन कहाँ पाई गई है, किस तारीख को?
ऑन 23rd करीब 2 बजे।
कहाँ पे सर?
चेरापूंजी में, वो जहाँ पे ये हादसा हुआ था वो वहीं पर।
और सर जब ये मर्डर को अंजाम दे दिया उसके बाद कितनी स्कूटी से ये चारों जो एक्यूज हैं, 3 किलर्स और ये सोनम, ये कहाँ पे मिले लास्ट बार सर? 10 किलोमीटर पे एक जगह मिलने के बाद एक दूसरी जगह जहाँ से कि ये अलग अलग निकले हैं।
हम लोग को पता चला है कि वो लोग ने ये जो कॉन्ट्रैक्ट किलर्स है वो लोग ने 2 स्कूटी हायर किया था, और ये मर्डर होने के बाद वो लोग ने स्कूटी में बैठे, और सोनम भी वो लोग के साथ एक जगह है मौका डॉक बोल के, वहाँ तक वो लोग वापस आए थे। वहाँ से वो लोग सेपरेट हुए और अपना अलग अलग जगह वो लोग वापस चले गए।
सर ये गुवाहाटी कैसे पहुंची शिलोंग से? किस रूट के जरिए? क्या टैक्सी ली थी? वो टैक्सी वाला आइडेंटिफाई हुआ है?
नहीं, देखिए हम लोग को इनिशियली इसमें पता चला है कि शायद वो लोग ने टैक्सी में वापस गया है, तो अभी उसको हम लोग को वेरीफाई करना है।
उनके यहाँ तांत्रिक में थोड़ा ज़्यादा ही वो करते हैं, क्योंकि वो जगह जगह घूम रहे थे। जब सोनम घूमी थी ना, तो बोले हमने यहाँ पे ये करवाया, हमने वहाँ पे वो करवाया, तो वो तांत्रिक में ज़्यादा विश्वास करते हैं उनके घर वाले। तो बच्चा तो वैसे ही सीखेगा ना। हो सकता सोनम ने कुछ तांत्रिक विद्या करी हो, मतलब इसीलिए उसको वहाँ पे लेके गई हो। गोविंद भैया से मैंने पूछा कि तुम सोनम से मिले थे कि नहीं मिले थे, पहले तो मेरे को ये बताओ। तो उन्होंने बोला कि मम्मी मैं सोनम से मिला था 3 मिनट के लिए। तो मैंने बोला कि उसको मारा क्यों नहीं तुमने? तो बोले मारने का मौका ही नहीं दिया, पुलिस और मीडिया इतनी सारी थी वहाँ पर। बोला कि सोनम को फांसी दिलवाई जाए, गोविंद भैया ने बोल के गए।
ये पुलिस को गुमराह कर रही है, जो कि सोनम के आशिक के द्वारा ये सारा काम रचा गया था, जिसका नाम है राज कुशवाहा,
जो आपकी गलती
है ना, जो कि मेरे यहाँ पे राजा की अंतिम यात्रा पे भी आया था। वो उसके सोनम के पिताजी के साथ पीछे खड़ा था, और पास में मेरे सारे सब खड़े थे। दूसरे लोगों से मालूम पड़ा है तो राजा के फेसबुक पे या अपने इंस्टाग्राम पे या इसको चैट करके, अपने टेक्स्ट मैसेज करके किसी द्वारा राजा को उसने मारने का ऐसा बोला गया था। तो सोनम द्वारा राजा को 13 तारीख के दिन मार दो, ये मुझे आज मालूम पड़ा है। आसम करीब सोनम जो है 2 बार जा चुकी है। ये सोनम ने खुद ने जिक्र करा था, और सोनम के भाई ने भी जिक्र करा था। तो हम लोग पिछले साल ही हम लोग पूरा परिवार वहाँ पे गया था। मुझे लग रहा था, तो मेघला से कहा मेरा साथ नहीं दे रही है, मेरा काम नहीं सुन रही है, या मेघला से कुछ काम नहीं कर रही है। तो इस प्रकार से जो हमें वहाँ स्थिति दिखी थी उस टाइम पे, उस स्थिति के अनुसार पे हम लोगों ने मेघालय सरकार को थोड़ा सा हाईलाइट किया। इसके लिए हम लोग हाथ जोड़ के माफ़ी चाहते हैं मेघालय सरकार के सामने, और सीएम साहब से भी हम माफ़ी चाहते हैं।
इस परिवार ने एक बेटा खोया है, और जो मैंने लड़की दी थी उस लड़की की जगह पे मैं इस परिवार का हिस्सा हूँ, उससे रिश्ता हमने तोड़ दिया है, और इस परिवार का हिस्सा मैं हूँ। वो परमानेंटली हमेशा 24 घंटे सिर्फ दीदी दीदी बोलता था। ये कि उसके राज की जो घर वाले हैं, उसकी बहन माँ वगैरह, वो भी यही बयान दे रहे हैं, शायद मैंने जो मीडिया में सुना है, तो दीदी ही बोलता था। और दूसरा, राखी बांधते थे ये 3 साल से, और मेरे खुद घर में हम दोनों साथ में बैठ के राखी बंधवाई है। तो मैं चीज़ें बयां करता हूँ कि पूरी 100% गलती उसी की होगी, और उसको बिल्कुल सजा हम दिलवाएंगे। मैं खुद दिलवाऊंगा, मैं चीजें बयां करूंगा।
Let me now bring in our colleague Anshul, who's now joining us live on the broadcast. Anshul, the way the proceedings are happening as far as the investigation in this particular case is concerned, one thing to highlight is that there has been an acceptance that, and this too by Sonam, that she was very much complicit in the crime. She was the one who had planned and plotted this entire murder. After that, there are these details that have come to light by the police as they are further looking into the evidences that are before them. How does one weigh in that?
Well, definitely, this is a big headway that has been made by the Shillong police in this entire matter, where Sonam for the first time has gone ahead and accepted to the fact that she was involved in this entire planning, and then eventually committing of this entire crime. And that is one of the reasons why the Shillong District Court has also gone ahead and given an 8-day custody of all these accused to the Shillong police. Now, over the next 8 days, the Shillong police will try to gather as much evidence as they can. There are several evidences that the Shillong police has on their side, and all these evidences would be confronted with all these accused. Initially, these accused will be questioned separately, and then eventually they will be questioned simultaneously as well in the same room. So definitely the Shillong police will try to figure out the exact sequence of events that transpired before the killing of Raj Kushwaha, and how all these people actually managed to flee from Shillong back to their hometowns. But we also heard from the family of Sonam, who have where there is a drastic change in the stand. Remember, initially when Sonam was missing, they were demanding for a CBI probe, as they claimed that the Shillong police is not looking into this matter wholeheartedly. And then eventually, after the body of Raja Raguanchi that was recovered on the 3rd of June, a fresh FIR was registered, and then a large investigation was launched into this entire matter. So now it is expected that eventually in the next few days, the crime scene would also be recreated by the Shillong police. And also, it remains to be seen if at all the Shillong police will be able to gather the remaining evidences that are required to file a airtight charge sheet.
Right. Thank you so much for that, Anshul. And we will keep an eye on this big story as more and more details continue to emerge from it. Remember, this is a honeymoon homicide that we're talking about, and the murder of Raja Raguanchi allegedly by his own wife. We're now shifting our focus. We're getting some breaking news from Goa. We're learning that an invitation to celebrate Eid turned into a nightmare for 3 minor girls who were raped at a Kalangate hotel by 2 friends. According to Goa police, the victims and the accused are all known to one another. Rooms were booked in the hotel for Eid celebrations or also birthday parties. The victims are of the ages 15, 13 and just 11. Police have registered a case under POCSO, and rape also. 2 accused have been arrested so far. So this is what we are learning from a Kalangate hotel in Goa. There has been a reported incident of rape. All of the 3 girls who have had to undergo this turmoil were minors. They were in fact called to attend some Eid bash, probably also a birthday party. And we're also learning the 2 people who are possibly the accused in this case, possibly the perpetrators, they have been nabbed by the police, and a case also has been registered under prevention of sexual atrocities against children. A POCSO case has been registered, and 2 people so far have been nabbed by the police. More details emerging. We are in fact given to understand that there has been a shocking video that shows hit and run, and this is coming from Patna. 1 woman constable has also unfortunately died in the incident, and 3 other cops have been injured. This is a horrifying video that has surfaced from Patna. It shows police personnel being run over during a late night vehicle check. This incident happened around way past midnight at about 12:30 a.m. While the police officers were conducting routine vehicle checks, they signaled a car to stop. Initially, the vehicle halted, but then suddenly accelerated and then attempted to run over the officers who were on the patrol duty.
आप देख सकते हैं लाइव एक गाड़ी, एक स्कॉर्पियो अभी यहाँ पे हुआ। भैया 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 उठाइए इनको उठाइए भैया, इधर इधर। 1 मिनट हाँ सर जल्दी आइए, बहुत सर लोग घाव लग गया है, सर लोग का एक्सीडेंट हो गया, 2-3 लोग घायल हैं।
There you can see distressing visuals. Unfortunately, a woman constable who was on that patrol duty has succumbed to her injuries. She has died. Probably she was hit by this moving vehicle, and you can see the extent of damage as how this vehicle went about going in for a head-on collision, and that resulted in the death of the woman constable. There have been a few other police personnel who have been injured in this incident. Incidents reported out of Patna. Live visuals that we are, in fact, visuals that we are putting across to tell you exactly how this horror unfolded. And this incident, in fact, is from about 12:30 post midnight from Patna. My colleague Chandra Mohan is now joining us on the broadcast. Chandra Mohan, बहुत ही दिल दहलाने वाली घटना दिख रही है ये. एक महिला अधिकारी की हत्या हो चुकी है और भी बहुत सारे लोग हैं जो घायल हैं. और जानकारी दीजिए इसके बारे में प्लीज.
देखिए, पटना में पिछले एक सप्ताह में लगातार कोई न कोई बड़ी आपराधिक घटनाएं हो रही थी और इसी को लेकर पटना पुलिस ने कल रात 10 बजे से 12 बजे तक सघन छापेमारी अभियान चला रही थी और उसी दौरान गाड़ियों पर नजर भी रखी जा रही थी, चेकिंग भी किया जा रहा था. और तभी अटल पथ पर तकरीबन 12:30 बजे के करीब जब चेकिंग चल रहा था गाड़ियों का, तभी एक स्कॉर्पियो सामने से आ रही थी और उसके बाद 4 पुलिसकर्मियों को कुचल दिया, जिसमें एक महिला पुलिस की मौत हो चुकी है. 3 लोग जो हैं वो गंभीर रूप से जख्मी हैं, जिनको अस्पताल में भर्ती कराया गया है. और इस पूरे मामले में 2 लोगों की गिरफ्तारी हुई है जो स्कॉर्पियो में मौजूद थे, लेकिन ड्राइवर जो है वो भागने में अभी भी सफल रहा है. हालांकि पुलिस यह दावा कर रही है कि जल्द ही उनकी भी गिरफ्तारी हो जाएगी और साथ ही ये भी जांच किया जा रहा है कि आखिर वो कौन लोग थे, क्या वो नशे के हालत में थे, जो इस तरह से जब पुलिस अटल पथ पर पटना के मुख्य इलाके में जब जांच कर रही थी उसी दौरान सामने से आकर और सीधे तौर पर गाड़ी से रौंदते हुए और भागने का भी वहां से प्रयास किया गया. तो इस पूरे मामले की अभी जांच भी चल रही है. एक महिला पुलिसकर्मी की मौत हो चुकी है, 3 लोग गंभीर रूप से जख्मी हैं जिनको अस्पताल में भर्ती कराया गया है. और पटना पुलिस का यह मानना है कि फिर से एक बार आज सघन अभियान फिर से छापेमारी की चलाई जाएगी, गाड़ियों के चेकिंग की चलाई जाएगी और जो भी अपराधी होंगे वो बख्शे नहीं जाएंगे. लेकिन जिस तरह की ये घटना सामने आई है, साफ तौर पर यह दिखा रहा है कि पुलिस जो है वो उसको लोग चुनौती दे रहे हैं, चाहे वो अपराधी हो चाहे आम अब जो लोग हैं, चाहे वो गाड़ी के ड्राइवर हो, वो सीधे तौर पर चुनौती दे रहा है. और यही वजह है कि कल देर रात जब चेकिंग अभियान चल रहा था उसी दौरान पुलिसकर्मियों पर गाड़ी चढ़ाने की कोशिश की गई, उनको रौंदने की कोशिश की गई, जिसमें 4 पुलिसकर्मी गंभीर रूप से जख्मी हुए हैं, एक महिला पुलिसकर्मी की मौत हो चुकी है और 3 लोग अभी अस्पताल में भर्ती हैं.
चंद्रमोहन, बहुत शुक्रिया आपके हमारे साथ जुड़ने के लिए. सो वी आर लर्निंग दैट this hit and run has resulted in the loss of life. One person who was driving that Scorpio has managed to escape despite that police bandobast. We're shifting our focus now, getting some more breaking news updates. We're learning of a chaos that broke out in Bengal's Mehrotra area over a dispute related to a shop setup. The situation turned violent as miscreants hurled stones and bricks at the police. Several officers were injured. Also, we are learning that a police vehicle was vandalized and a bike was set ablaze. All of this outside the local police station in the area. Now, BJP State President and Union Minister Shukanto Majumdar will visit the Mehrotra area for an inspection. Politics has also quickly escalated and BJP leader Suvendu Adhikari has demanded deployment of paramilitary, claiming Hindus and police are unsafe under Mamata Banerjee. BJP has even alleged that mob vandalized a Shiv temple in this area. He also vowed to move court and raise the issue in the assembly. Let's now, in fact, get you some more inputs and we are getting an update on this Bengal violence. Total number of arrests till now in the Mehrotra violence is up to 41. 41 people so far have been nabbed. They have been arrested in this particular case. My colleague Kamalika is with us on the broadcast. Kamalika, what has happened here and how did this violence erupt? Why this incident of arson that has been reported out of the Mehrotra area?
See, what we are coming to know, and we were there in Mehrotra yesterday, that it has started off all her setting up of a shop in a, which was also very near to the Thana, and then their fight started. There was quarrel, then there was fight, and then it erupted into violence. And then suddenly the miscreants came, and it's obvious it's a minority-dominated area. The miscreants came and they vandalized one after another couple of shops, and also there was a house, and at top of that house the windows were broken. And when police resorted to lathi charge, police resorted to try to control the situation. Then none other than the DC also of this Kolkata police DC went there, and he was also injured. Not only that, the other police personnel were also injured, and they tried to control. More forces came in because this is a region where one portion falls under under Kolkata police, but this Ravindranagar falls under South 24 Pargana. So there were Bengal police and there were Kolkata police also, and initially it was very difficult because the police was, the constant stone pelting came in, heavy stone pelting took place, and police also resorted to lathi charge, tear gas, and then after it went for a long time, it went for 2 hours, and then the police bike was also set on fire. So all these things happened, and then more deployment of forces took place. Right now there is 163 imposed there. No, people more than 5 is not allowed there. Right now there is situation is calm at the 9. What we are coming to know that there are 7 FIRs, including Kolkata and Bengal police together has made 7 suo moto cases. Till now 41 arrests have taken place. 28 arrests from the Bengal area and 14 arrests from the Kolkata police area. That's what the present situation is. Situation is under control. Situation is tensed, definitely. But right now, till yesterday, whole night, there was no new violence reported from this region.
Malika, but how is the TMC trying to get away with just calling this a stray incident?
See, definitely the BJP has raised various points, and today we know that Shukanto Majumdar, he plans to come here. Also, Shubhendu Adhikari has written a letter to the SP that he also wants to come here. But what we are coming to know from our sources that since there is 163, they may not be allowed there. But the point is, the questions with the BJP is raising that a lot of police personnel were injured. Now, there where the question that the BJP is raising, and the Trinamool law is saying that this is an unfortunate stray incident, but definitely since there was the police was also on the receiving hand, a question on the situation, how it went just out of hand, that point of time is definitely a question.
Right, Malika, thank you so much for all of those details. We'll keep an eye on the story from West Bengal. Right now, let's take a look at some more reactions that are coming in.
Hindus are torture. The Mohestola, Metia Buruj, Ravindranagar police area. The Hindus are torture. Hindu shops and houses looted. And police also injured. Several police personnel injured. Multiple number of cars vandalized. But police did not work. They should deploy paramilitary forces to save the police forces and Hindu. The common police forces and the Hindu people not safe in Bengal under the leadership of Mamata Banerjee. Tomorrow we will raise our voice strongly in assembly, as well as we will move a petition to the special bench, Calcutta High Court also.
देखिए ये महेशतला जो इंसिडेंट है वो एक स्ट्रे इंसिडेंट है, इसका साथ ओवरऑल लॉ एंड ऑर्डर का कोई ताल्लुक नहीं है। तो देखिए कोई इलाका में कोई क्लब में आपस में थोड़ा होता है, जो हुआ है अनफॉर्चुनेट है, हम लोग सब कंडेम कर रहा है, पुलिस देख रहा है, पुलिस भी इंजर्ड हुआ है, लेकिन पुलिस बहुत रिस्पॉन्सिबल बिहेव। अब देखिए कोई ऐसा कोई एक्शन पुलिस नहीं लिया जो एग्रोवेटेड हो जाए सिचुएशन। पुलिस टैकल किया, ठीक से टैकल किया। इसके लेकर प्रोवोकेटिव स्टेटमेंट्स उस टाइम में सीन क्रिएट करना ये तो ठीक नहीं है।
With that, we're shifting our focus. We're going into a very short break. We'll get you some more news stories on the other side. Just stay tuned on CNN News 18.
This is
Hello, Moto.
Motorola Edge 60 Pro, the edge of excellence.
And more breaking news coming in. CNN News 18 has access to photo of all the 4 accused in the Raja Raguanchi murder case. This is Sons Sonam, the wife of Raja Raguvanchi. Those are the visuals on your screen where you can see that 4 of the 5 accused can be seen in that still when it comes to the Raja Raguvanchi murder case. CNN News 18 has accessed the first stills of the accused, of 4 of the accused out of the 5, including Sonam. Sonam was also sent to 8 days police custody as well. And these are the other 4 accused, including the alleged lover of Sonam Raghuvanshi, Raja, along with 3 other who we are learning are contracted killers, people who were contracted to commit the murder of Raja Raghuvanchi is what we are learning. Those are the visuals on your screen when it comes to the status of these 5 accused now. These 4 are out of the 5 accused in this entire case where Sonam Raghuvanchi has also been sent to 8 days police custody. But those are the 4 accused. That those include not just Raj, who is the alleged lover of Sonam Raghuvanchi, but also the 3 alleged contract killers. To get more details, I'm joined by my colleague Anshul Singh on the broadcast. Anshul, give us the details.
So yes, this is the first photograph that has come to the fore after the arrest of all the accused in this entire matter. And if you look at this photograph, except of Sonam, there are all the 4 accused that have been captured in a photograph for the first time. And definitely the manner in which this entire incident has happened, and obviously Sonam, who was initially claiming that she was kidnapped and then...
And more breaking news coming in. CNN News 18 has accessed a photo of all the 4 accused in the Raja Raguvanchi murder case. This is Sans Sonam, the wife of Raja Raguvanchi. Those are the visuals on your screen where you can see that 4 of the 5 accused can be seen in that still when it comes to the Raja Raguvanchi murder case. CNN News 18 has accessed the first stills of the accused, of 4 of the accused out of the 5, including Sonam. Sonam was also sent to 8 days police custody as well. And these are the other 4 accused, including the alleged lover of Sonam Raghuvanshi, Raja, along with 3 other who we are learning are contracted killers, people who were contracted to commit the murder of Raja Raghuvanchi is what we are learning. Those are the visuals on your screen when it comes to the status of these 5 accused now. These 4 are out of the 5 accused in this entire case where Sonam Raghuvanchi has also been sent to 8 days police custody. But those are the 4 accused. That those include not just Raj, who is the alleged lover of Sonam Raghuvanchi, but also the 3 alleged contract killers. To get more details, I'm joined by my colleague Anshul Singh on the broadcast. Anshul, give us the details.
So yes, this is the first photograph that has come to the fore after the arrest of all the accused in this entire matter. And if you look at this photograph, except of Sonam, there are all the 4 accused that have been captured in a photograph for the first time. And definitely the manner in which this entire incident has happened, and obviously Sonam, who was initially claiming that she was kidnapped and then she was able to flee from the grasp of the kidnappers, and eventually she surrendered herself in Ghazipur. Definitely, the manner in which there has been a lot of evidences that has been gathered by the Shillong police, and that actually goes ahead and says that how Sonam was the actual master planner of this entire matter. So definitely, there are many layers that needs to be investigated. But yes, the manner in which this entire incident has happened, this definitely sent shockwaves across the country as to how a wife who was married just for 4 to 5 days actually planned this entire incident for at least 10 to 15 days before her marriage itself. And yes, finally, after the arrest of all the accused in this matter, definitely this is a shot in the arm for the Shillong police, who was initially been accused of not handling this entire situation. But the manner in which they have gone ahead and arrested all the accused in this entire matter, definitely this is a massive shot in the arm for the Shillong police, and they have been able to establish all the evidences, all the proofs that actually goes ahead and says that how not only Sonam, but all the other 3 accused, the mastermind Raj Kushwaha, all of them were actually involved in this entire incident, and they had planned this entire murder days before the marriage. This is something that is absolutely shocking. But yes.
Welcome back. You're watching CNN News 18 with me, Griha. We're now getting some exclusive piece of information, and this concerns our neighboring nation, Pakistan, as we're learning that Pakistan has topped the global chart for the highest number of bombings and IED incidents, breaking its own 5-year record. Now, these are findings by the NSG in its latest annual report, Bombshell. Pakistan recorded a total of 291 bombing incidents in 2024 alone. Also, this includes 187 IED incidents, 104 explosive ordnance incidents, and this is, remember, the highest number of bombings in any country worldwide in the year 2024, making Pakistan the undisputed global leader in such incidents. My colleague Ankur Sharma is now joining us on the broadcast. Ankur, what does it now mean for Pakistan? Pakistan is busy listening as far as the global platform is concerned. There has been a delegation under Bilawal Bhutto Zardari that was going to these various countries to talk about how Pakistan's response to India's Operation Sindoor was justified. India, on the other hand, is taking steps to ensure that Pakistan goes back to the grey list of FATF. Will this make that any better?
Yeah, Greya. So for decades now, Pakistan is known to have provided safe havens and training grounds, ideological support to world's most dangerous terror groups, including Lashkar-e-Toiba and Jaish-e-Mohammed. And these groups have now helped Pakistan to break its own record and making the Pakistan #1 in bombing attacks globally in 2024, cementing its position as the topmost nation in IED and explosive ordnance attacks. So Pakistan, as we know, that it's known for a terror state, and these groups are known operate openly in Pakistan, recruit freely, and enjoy tactical supports from military and intelligence establishments in Pakistan. So, in fact, the world's most wanted leader, Osama bin Laden, also who planned and executed 9/11 attack, also located in Pakistan, eliminated by US in an operation Abbottabad. So these terrorist groups have started biting Pakistan, killing local citizens, and have taken Pakistan to the top level with highest bombing incidents. And this report has been compiled by NSG's National Bomb Data Center, which works only on explosive violence globally as well as India also. It compiles all the information on such incidents. So as per the report, from 2020 to 2024, Pakistan reported 69 bombs in 2020, which has now last year reached to 291. And in 2021, it was 68 approximately. In 2023, it was 160 incidents which were reported as per the Bombshell magazine of NSG. Now, these incidents have seen a steep rise in showing the decline in internal security and internal problems of Pakistan. Back to you.
Right, Ankur, does Bombshell also speak about any amount of casualty figures, considering we are talking about these bombings and these are unusual numbers that we speak about in context of Pakistan?
Yeah, so it's a dedicated magazine with compiled data of global incidents. It talks about the Pakistan incidents also. They have mentioned multiple Pakistan IED attacks and other bomb attacks held in Pakistan. And importantly, globally, Pakistan claimed that we are the victim, but the fact is that Pakistan sheltered these terror groups, which now biting not only Pakistan, taking the Pakistan to global level, and also killing the local citizens, local people in Pakistan. It is now much more dangerous and unsafe than Syria and Afghanistan, as per the report.
Right, Ankur. Thank you so much for all of those details. With that, we are shifting our focus on to Karnataka. We are learning the days after Karnataka Chief Minister Siddaramaiah said that he had no connection with the celebration outside the M. Chinnaswamy Stadium that resulted in the killing of 11 people because of the stampede. And he also said that he didn't organize the Vidhana Sauda felicitation for the Royal Challengers Bengaluru players. Siddaramaiah has now said that he was consulted twice by the Karnataka State Cricket Association and also the Chief Secretary, after which he gave the nod. Now to the Chief Minister's denial. In organizing the Vidhana Saudha event last time, the Raj Bhavan claimed that the governor was in fact invited by the Chief Minister himself. Now the Karnataka Chief Minister has finally admitted that he did call on the governor as he too was attending the event, but added that he was unaware who initially extended the invitation to T. Gehlot. So remember, after a series of denials in the face of the killings that had happened because of the tragic stampede, celebrations had turned gory and grim. Now there is finally an acceptance. Is this because of the rap from the party high command in the national capital that Siddaramaiah and his deputy has received? That is why this backtracking that's now coming in from the highest office in Karnataka, that is the big question. Is Siddaramaiah on the back foot finally? Are there going to be any more reactions possibly from DK Shivakumar now that this cabinet reshuffle in Karnataka is also something that we are talking about. But this backtracking is rather significant. After a series of denials, now Siddaramaiah finally accepting that he was in the know, he was the one who had extended the invite. We're getting some more breaking news from Karnataka as we're learning of heavy rains that have lashed parts of the state in Dharwad, Gadag and other districts, while coastal districts like Uttar Kannada, also Dakshin Kannada and Udupi continue to also witness heavy downpour causing massive waterlogging. Dakshina Kannada, also Uttar Kannada, Udupi, Dharwad districts have announced holidays for schools and colleges and Anganwadis today. Heavy rains that are reported from various parts of Karnataka, because of which schools, colleges and Anganwadis have been shut. These are heavy downpours and also a fair bit of warnings from the Met Department, because of which this decision has been taken by the Karnataka administration. We can show you these waterlogged images from various residences in these parts of Karnataka. We're talking about Uttar and Dakshin Kannada, Dharwad, also Udupi. You can also see the local tributary that is almost inundated. The water is out on the roads. Vehicular movement has been significantly impacted. These are visuals from Gadag. We are also learning that because of this untoward incident and how they want to take care of no casualties, because we are not just learning of these districts, there are various others that have been severely impacted because of the rains. That's why we will not have schools and colleges functioning. This is a shot from Dharwad that was also putting across, where you can see the water that has in fact come onto the roads. Roads have been inundated because of the heavy downpour. Let's now get in a word from Kerala, where the blaze continues aboard the cargo ship. The Singapore-based ship, this is a Singapore flag container ship MV Van Hai 503. It remains on fire, posing a challenge to the agencies. The Coast Guard is leading intense firefighting efforts. Also, Mi-17 V5 of Indian Air Force is being used to drop firefighting dye in this area. Firefighting dye that's been dropped by the Indian Air Force. There you can see that chopper in the air. We're trying to ascertain if at all this is going to be rather helpful, because now that IAF has been pressed into service, we do know, despite several efforts to douse that blaze, the authorities were not successful so far, and hence the Indian Air Force has been pressed into service, and that's why we see IAF chopper dropping that dye so that the blaze can be controlled. That also is going to have a significant impact on the coastline of Kerala. We'd already seen an oil spill just a fortnight back, and now this fresh report of this Singapore flagged vehicle that continues to be on fire, and that's been a cause of concern. This was carrying in inflammable substances to a Mumbai-based firm, we are told, and right now questioning is on as far as that is concerned. People who were on board this particular ship they have been taken to in fact safe places, various hotels around Kerala. This is what we are learning, but the latest is that the Indian Coast Guard continues to battle this blaze. IAF has been pressed into service, And of course, there is a huge amount of environmental risk as the blaze continues aboard the cargo ship. The Indian Coast Guard is at it. They are trying to contain the blaze, and they're trying to also ascertain that the environmental damage is as less as possible. This is the second such incident in Kerala that's been reported, because of which the coastline has been massively impacted. My colleague Neetu Regukumar, who's been tracking this story from the very start, is now joining us on the broadcast. Neetu, now the IF has been pressed into service, but that die that we speak about that's been dropped by the chopper, how crucial is it and how badly will it be impacting, not just the maritime but also the coastline in Kerala?
See, this is the fourth day since this accident has happened. From then, the Coast Guard and the Navy has been in the front lines trying to bring the situation under control. Even right now, though the fire has subsided a lot, it has been brought under control to a certain extent. It has not been brought fully under control. So that is why this is being used today to try and control this situation as much as possible. Last night, there was another update that the salvage company, they have been able to put a line into this ship, to the front part of the ship. So the idea is to, if we can tow this further into the deep sea, so that it will not have create much of a problem within the coastline or towards the coast. This happened about more than 55 nautical miles away. So this is a little farther away than the first incident which had happened. Now the environmental hazards, the concerns of oil spill, these are all major issues and concerns that the authorities have at this moment, because this particular vessel also had dangerous cargo, at least 147 containers of this, which includes paint, resin solutions, pesticides, so all flammable substances were in this. So if this is spread in the water, the kind of environment impact that it can have, also about 2,000 tons of fuel oil and about 200 tons of diesel was also there in this vessel. So there are concerns like this which is being closely monitored by the Coast Guard, the Navy, the state authorities are also trying to do this. The warning to the people is that if you see anything on the coastline, don't touch it, don't go near it. But we are also understanding that it might not come towards the Kerala coast, because this has been further away, at least by today. These are not the indications that they are seeing.
Right, Neetu, thank you so much for that. Now, Indian Coast Guard continues to battle this blaze on Singapore registered container ship. CNN News 18's Akash Sharma also spoke exclusively with IG Bisham Sharma, Commander Coast Guard Region West. Let's take a look.
We know that how Indian Coast Guard is involved in the firefighting that was in fact reported on board Singaporean vessel. Sir, thank you so much for your time. My first question, while we know that Indian Coast Guard and a number of platforms are involved in this firefighting, what is the update? How are we assessing the current situation, sir? And if you can tell us about the kind of platforms that have been employed for this firefighting.
Akash, as we speak, having rescued 18 survivors from this ill-fated Singapore flagged vessel, our firefighting operations started from 9th June onwards, and they are continuing as we speak now. Prima facie, it is a chemical fire which has taken place, and the fire has spread all across the ship now. Most of the containers are on fire. Till yesterday, 3 ships of the Coast Guard, which are advanced offshore patrol vessels by name Sachet, Samarth, and 1 pollution control vessel, Samudra Prairie, they are on the task for undertaking the firefighting operations. We are continuously pouring AFFF along with the water on board this vessel so that fire could be contained. The reports today morning suggest that fire has been controlled to some extent because the flames have reduced quite a bit. However, the black smoke continues to emit from the vessel. Vessel as of now is stable on the even keel with a slight list to port side, but we do not anticipate any danger as far as stability of the vessel is concerned. Few of the containers have fallen overboard because of the explosion. Our firefighting efforts continue, and even today evening we are deploying another Coast Guard vessel from New Mangalore, Coast Guard ship Vikram, which will augment the ongoing firefighting efforts. For carrying out the assessment of the fire, we are continuously launching our Coast Guard Dorniers from Cochin, essentially for the purpose of area mapping to roll out any oil spillage, as also to give us a sense, aerial view of as to how the fire is emanating from the vessel. So continuous efforts are on, and apart from the Coast Guard ships which are on the scene, the emergency towing vessel by name Water Lily, as well as a barge by name Offshore Warrior, is also deployed in the scene of action to undertake ongoing firefighting operations.
So we got to know about hazardous cargo on board this particular vessel. If you can talk to us about the kind of risk that is involved in the firefighting and the sort of strategy that you have implemented.
See, as far as the chemicals are concerned, the vessel is carrying around 143 containers which have different kinds of IMDG cargo, which is a dangerous cargo. So therefore, it is difficult for us to predict as to which kind of chemical is stored in which container, because we have not been able to go on board a ship because all ship is on fire. So therefore, as far as firefighting efforts are concerned, we are continuously pouring in AFFF along with the water, and we have also now devised a strategy to drop dry chemical powder onto the vessel so that the fire could be contained. Weather at the moment is not in our favor. Strong winds as well as monsoon weather is prevalent in the area. Sea state is not conducive. Notwithstanding, ships are on the job as far as firefighting operations are concerned, and we are looking at deploying the aerial elements now for dropping the dry chemical powder from the air onto the ill-fated vessel.
So taking that listing point forward, if you can talk to us about the listing that has been reported, where it has been reported that vessel is listing towards the port, in fact 10 to 15 degrees. If you can talk to us about the sort of measures that have been taken to stabilize the particular vessel, sir.
See, this listing which is seen on the port side is essentially because of few of the containers which have gone overboard. Since the vessel is abandoned, it's extremely difficult to balance it out. Notwithstanding, the present stability of the vessel is intact. 10 to 15 degrees of list to port side is perfectly manageable. It is not causing any concern to us at this point in time. Therefore, we are not worried about that. Right now, our concern is to douse the fire, and all out efforts are in place to douse the fire.
We're getting some breaking news inputs now. Tensions in the Middle East are on the rise as US has withdrawn some diplomats and military families from the Middle East amid Iran tensions. Remember, US has been arm twisting Iran not to go ahead with uranium enrichment so that they can go ahead and have a nuclear weapon, something that US has been completely against. Meanwhile, Iran has threatened to strike US bases if the conflict erupts over the nuclear program. Washington and Tehran have held 5 rounds of talks since April. Next round of talks will be taking place this week. Meanwhile, we're also learning that Russia has also extended help to find a solution. This continues to go on. There was a warning that went out from Washington as the President of the United States had said that they should not be having any nuclear weapon. And now they are calling Iran as a dangerous place. And that is the reason that the US is giving to pull out personnel from the Middle East amid those tensions with Iran. There also another development that has come to fore as we are learning that Israel is planning to attack Iran, and that is also something that has hastened this decision by the White House to move embassy staff and dependents partly out of Iran. Let's take a look at this reaction by the President of the United States of America.
They can't have a nuclear weapon. Very simply. They can't have a nuclear weapon. We're not going to allow that.
So, partial evacuation that's been planned by the United States of America of its embassy in Iraq, and also US has authorized the voluntary departure of dependents of US personnel from locations across the Middle East, including Bahrain, Kuwait and the UAE, as the regional security concerns rise. We're also learning that the US Central Command has put out a statement that Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth has authorized the departure of military dependents in the region. And also, the Central Command is monitoring these developing tensions. This is the word coming out of Washington, D.C. Orders for all non-essential personnel to depart the U.S. Embassy in Baghdad have been, in fact, sent out. And this is already, in fact, based on commitment of keeping Americans safe. At least that is what the Washington, D.C. is going about saying. But we do know how there is a big background to it all. My colleague Akanksha Swaroop is joining us to break down all of that for our viewers. Yes, Akanksha.
Right. We have what we are learning is that the U.S. has drawn down the presence of these staffers, which are not deemed as essential as far as the Middle East operations are concerned. But most importantly, in a podcast yesterday that featured on New York Post, the U.S. president has said, or rather he's gone on to say that he will not rule out the possibility of any airstrikes on Iran if the nuclear talks result in failure. And this is something that, of course, will be done in close coordination with Israel. So that doesn't sound to be very optimistic. But what we can say is that there's a confirmation coming into the U.S. State Department that it has ordered the departure of all non-essential personnel from the U.S. Embassy in Baghdad. In fact, there wasn't much staff to begin with in Baghdad, and the embassy already had limited staffing, but the department has authorized the departure of whatever non-essential personnel were left along with their family members. And that in itself is an indication of the preparation that's perhaps going on behind the scenes as these talks take place. And the Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth has also authorized the voluntary departure of these military dependents, something he's also gone on to confirm. But let me also tell you that Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, the Supreme Leader of Iran, has also been he's also been very vocal about how these talks are not yielding to anything. Remember, the Iranians really want this to work because their entire economy has been crippled by sanctions. But Iran is not really yielding in terms of uranium enrichment.
Absolutely. Akanksha, thank you so much. It's also partly due to this new word that Israel is possibly planning to also attack Iran. We're going into a very, very short break. With that, we'll come right back with all the news and developments right here on CNN News 18. Stay tuned.
This is News.
Dangerously cool.
Go, stop, go. Playing this game like a tic-tac-toe. Sharp as a razor, the flavor bowl. Flip it out, they wanna fold. Keeping them coming.
Motorola Razr 16. Dangerously cool.
Hello, Moto.
And more breaking news coming in. CNN News 18 has access to a photo of all the 4 accused in the Raja Raguanchi murder case. This is Sans Sonam, the wife of Raja Raguanchi. Those are the visuals on your screen where you can see that 4 of the 5 accused can be seen in that still when it comes to the Raja Raguanchi murder case. CNN News 18 has accessed the first stills of the accused, of 4 of the accused out of the 5, including Sonam. Sonam was also sent to 8 days police custody as well. And these are the other 4 accused, including the alleged lover of Sonam Raguanchi, Raja, along with 3 other who we are learning are contracted killers, people who were contracted to commit the murder of Raja Raguanchi is what we are learning. Those are the visuals on your screen when it comes to the status of these 5 accused. Now, these 4 are out of the 5 accused in this entire case, where Sonal Raghuvanshi has also been sent to 8 days police custody. But those are the 4 accused. That those include not just Raj, who is the alleged lover of Sonal Raghuvanshi, but also the 3 alleged contract killers. To get more details, I'm joined by my colleague Anshul Singh on the broadcast. Anshul, give us the details.
So yes, this is the first photograph that has come to the fore after the arrest of all the accused in this entire matter. And if you look at this photograph, except of Sonal, there are all the 4 accused that have been captured in a photograph for the first time.
And more breaking news coming in. CNN News 18 has access to a photo of all the 4 accused in the Raja Raguvanchi murder case. This is Sans Sonal, the wife of Raja Raguvanchi. Those are the visuals on your screen, where you can see that 4 of the 5 accused can be seen in that still when it comes to the Raja Raguvanchi murder case. CNN News 18 has accessed the first stills of the accused, of 4 of the accused out of the 5, including Sonal. Sonal was also sent to 8 days police custody as well. And these are the other 4 accused, including the alleged lover of Sonal Raghuvanshi, Raja, along with 3 other who we are learning are contracted killers, people who were contracted to commit the murder of Raja Raghuvanchi is what we are learning. Those are the visuals on your screen when it comes to the status of these 5 accused. Now, these 4 are out of the 5 accused in this entire case, where Sonal Raghuvanshi has also been sent to 8 days police custody. But those are the 4 accused. That those include not just Raj, who is the alleged lover of Sonal Raghuvanshi, but also the 3 alleged contract killers. To get more details, I'm joined by my colleague Anshul Singh on the broadcast. Anshul, give us the details.
So yes, this is the first photograph that has come to the fore after the arrest of all the accused in this entire matter. And if you look at this photograph, except of Sonal, there are all the 4 accused that have been captured in a photograph for the first time. And definitely the manner in which this entire incident happened, and obviously Sonal, who was initially claiming that she was kidnapped and then she was able to flee from the grasp of the kidnappers, and eventually she surrendered herself in Ghazipur. Definitely, the manner in which there has been a lot of evidences that has been gathered by the Shillong police, and that actually goes ahead and says that how Sonal was the actual master planner of this entire matter. So definitely, there are many layers that needs to be investigated. But yes, the manner in which this entire incident has happened, this definitely sent shockwaves across the country as to how a wife who was married just for 4 to 5 days actually planned this entire incident for at least 10 to 15 days before her marriage itself. And yes, finally, after the arrest of all the accused in this matter, definitely this is a shot in the arm for the Shillong police, who was initially been accused of not handling this entire situation. But the manner in which they have gone ahead and arrested all the accused in this entire matter, definitely this is a massive shot in the arm for the Shillong police, and they have been able to establish all the evidences, all the proofs that actually goes ahead and says that how not only Sonal, but all the other 3 accused, the mastermind Raj Kushwaha, all of them were actually involved in this entire incident, and they had planned this entire murder days before the marriage. This is something that is absolutely shocking. But yes, since the Shillong police has gotten the custody of all the accused for the next 8 days, over the next 8 days, the Shillong police will try to establish more and more evidences that actually actually establish the storyline that has been told by Sonal and all the other 4 accused. But yes, this is a massive success, and over the next 2 days, we can expect some more fast-track action that will be taken by the Shillong police.
Right, and when it comes to the entire, the different antecedents as well as the different aspects of this case, Anshul, now we've been talking about Raj as well as Sonal.
Well, thank you so much for watching and staying with us here on CNN News 18. I'm Griha Atul, and let's begin the top of 10 with the chilling details that have emerged as more and more details continue to unravel in the honeymoon homicide case. We're talking about the Meghalaya murder story. Shillong Police DIG David N.R. Mark has now confirmed that Sonam actively helped all three contract killers who in fact were part of killing Raja Raguanchi, her husband. She helped in disposing of her husband's body. She was also present at the murder spot. CCTV images also suggest that, and she was pretty much there assisting in dumping her husband's body into that ditch. The DIG has also revealed that Sonam had conducted multiple internet searches about this murder location and possible dumping spots before the crime took place. The SIT also confronted Sonam with evidence during the interrogation, and she confessed. Her statement will now be recorded in front of a magistrate, and her confession will be officially taped. The police also are saying that this is just the beginning, and they are not ruling out more arrests in the coming few days. Remember, this comes after Sonam's family also declared that they have cut off ties with Sonam, and they have vowed to back Raja